Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. It is Friday night, October the 2nd, 2015. Tonight we're going to be discussing the eBay Fall Seller Newsletter and a bunch of other things, including webinars, mobile sales, a new feature called True Case Stories, PayPal. We're going to talk about returns, combined shipping, and a couple of other eBay things. First, I have a couple of announcements to make. If you've been listening to the news at all, and I assume most of you have, you know that Hurricane Joaquin is expected to hit the East Coast in a couple of days. Right now they're calling it a Category 4 storm. The jury is still out as to whether we are going to get the full effects of it or not, but they said even if we don't, we're going to get heavy rain and gale force winds, and this could be a major problem for poor Joey. Because as you know, we get these storms every 2 years, and especially the winds are dangerous, and it's going to cause us to lose power. It happened with Superstorm Sandy about 3 years ago, and if you remember that, I was out for over a week. The year before that, I was out for a week, and the year before that, I was out for a week. So it's not unusual. We get really bad storms here on the East Coast. So my point is, if you don't see an eBay video next Friday, you know I'm still not back and that we lost power. But again, let's not worry yet. They're saying it's going to hit Sunday night to Tuesday in that time frame. And the ground is already saturated because this entire week was cloudy and rainy. Today was really rainy, and there's just no end in sight. They said we're not going to see the sun for the foreseeable future. But anyway, that being said, here's hoping I'm here next week. Let's talk about eBay right now. First of all, a shout out to the guys, my friends at eBay Radio, Griff, Lee, and eBetsy. Thank you guys for the gift. It is much appreciated, and let's just say it was my pleasure. I encourage all of you guys to listen to eBay Radio when you can. And I've got a good little eBay Radio story which will figure in later in the video, which will be in my True Case Stories topic. I would like to also tell you that there are some important webinars coming up. So write these dates down and register for them. Alright? This Monday coming up, October the 5th, is the eBay Holiday Seller Update webinar. I strongly suggest you register for it right now so you have a spot. I believe it's going to be 11 o'clock California time, which is 2 o'clock here on the East Coast. Then, next week, on October the 13th, there will be a video about the Seller Hub, the new eBay Seller Hub, which they're going to be debuting soon. If you can't make it on the 13th, they also have a slot on the 20th available. So you can register for either one of those. I've already registered. I think these webinars are great. I find them highly informative, and I think you guys will too. As far as the eBay Seller Newsletter, my mobile sales this period were 25%, which is right about what they usually are. Not really more, not really less. So if you guys would like to, in the comment section, tell me what your percentage is, because I really would like to know. Oddly enough, in last Friday's video, if you remember, I was shooting my mouth off about how I get very few returns. Well, do you know Friday night I got not one, but 2 returns started? So I had 2 returns. Both were over $150. What made it weird was the cases differed slightly. Both buyers admitted they made a mistake and bought the wrong size hubs, so there's no problem there. So they both had to pay the return shipping to me. But in the first case, the item had free shipping included, and in the second case, I charged $10 shipping to the buyer to ship the hubs. So when I got the both returns, the first return I automatically gave the guy the $150. In the second return, it says refund your buyer $150. Then there's a second checkbox that's optional where you can return the buyer his shipping fee as well. In this case, I charged him $10 to ship them. And I did not return his shipping fee of $10 because it was his mistake and he admitted it. All right? If it was my mistake, I'd be paying for shipping both ways. But I just want you guys to know, fair is fair. All right? And I think that this new eBay returns process is going to work out pretty darn good. Now, I know that there are some of you guys moaning and groaning right now saying you don't like the fact that you have to take returns for 30 days. Now, I've heard from several of you guys this past week, so let's talk about the 30-day returns again and some possible scenarios. Number one, you do not have to take returns for 30 days. None of you do. The 30-day returns are for people who want to be top-rated sellers and get the 20% discount. Now, if you're a small seller and you're only selling 1 or 2 items a week, you don't have to take 30-day returns. You don't have to take 14-day returns. You don't have to take any returns. But keep in mind, if a buyer files a claim, a snag claim, not as described, you know eBay usually sides with the buyer in those cases. All right? Now, even you guys who are top-rated sellers like myself, you don't have to offer 30-day returns on every single solitary item. I myself will be doing that because most of my returns come as soon as the buyer gets the item, when he realizes he bought the wrong size or something like that. And to be honest, in my line, in auto parts, it's not a big deal because he'll send it back to me and I'll just relist the item and sell it again. But several of you guys contacted me and gave me some scenarios about your lines, and you guys got some valid points I want to bring out. One person was talking about electronics. Now, whether it be an iPhone, whether it be a camera, let's say you sell your buyer a brand new electronic, whatever it is, who cares? Brand new. He pays you. He uses the item for a month and returns it. Now you're getting back a used item, not a brand new item. You'll never be able to sell it for new again because the gentleman used it. Now, why would this person do such a thing, this buyer? Somebody said to me that they theorize a person could buy an electronic item for, let's say, $300 or $400 from you, use it for almost a month, then find that same item on eBay for a cheaper price, let's just say for argument's sake $200, then return your item and go out and buy the other item. Okay? Now that is something that needs to be looked at. Thankfully, I don't sell in the electronics category, but I do realize a bunch of you guys do, and that's a valid thought that really needs to be examined. I think eBay's take on this would be on a case-by-case basis, where if you sold a guy a brand new camera, let's say, and he used it for 3 weeks and then sent it back, it is not in the condition as it was when you sent it. So technically, by the book, you should not have to take that particular refund because it's not in the same condition you sent it out in. But a lot of people are scared about that, and not just electronics. I've had some clothes people comment, like let's say shortly you sell somebody a Halloween costume. They pay you, they get the costume, they wear it out to a party in their office for work, and then the next day they want to return it to you. So it's like they rented your costume. All right? That's another thing that really needs to be examined. Some people feel the 30-day returns should go by category. And I had another person write in and say that they think it should go by store level. They thought that maybe people, like I have a premium store. There are 3-level stores, as you know. There's basic, premium, and anchor. And this particular party thought that people with the premium stores and the anchor stores should be required to take 30-day returns, while the people with the basic stores should be allowed to take either 0 returns or 14-day returns. And again, I'm just putting this out there. I am just the messenger, all right? In my category, if 30-day returns is going to get me a boost in search, and that's what they say it will, I'm going to be offering 30-day returns. For that reason, and for the reason I want the 20% top-rated seller discount. So I myself have no problem with it. So don't come down on me because it just works for me. But I do realize in certain categories it may not work as well. And that's something that we need to discuss here. All right? Especially you guys in the electronics categories and maybe the clothes categories too. But then again, I've had a couple of clothes people write in and tell me they hardly get any returns, while other clothes people tell me they're inundated with returns. Go figure, right? Okay. Another thing. A lot of you guys who do the auctions complain about deadbeat bidders and accounts that are not verified. And I'm with you. I am with you on that. I told you long ago that I stopped doing auctions and I have no intention of ever going back. Fixed price with immediate payment required is the best way to go. But for those of you guys who insist on doing auctions, I have one little tip I think will help you. I got it from Griff. I don't know if you guys listened to eBay Radio on Thursday. I hope you did. But Griff came up with a really good tip for you auction people. So every one of you listen right now. Listen. In your preferences on my eBay, there is an option that you can check off to require your bidders to have a PayPal account. If you want to get rid of the deadbeat bidders, I highly suggest you check that tab. Because as you know, there are some people, some real low-life lumps of pudding that will make bogus accounts. And they're not tied up with a PayPal account. A guy called up on eBay Radio yesterday and told such a story. He's in the collectible field and he sells collectibles. He mentioned what he was selling. I believe it was some kind of a doll. It wasn't Star Wars, I don't think, but it was something like that. And what would happen to him is he would start the bidding at whatever, and the price would go up, 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 up with legit bidders. And at the very end, somebody would snipe him, maybe one guy or more than one guy, with these fake accounts and then never pay him. It would drive the price up through the sky. All his legit bidders would be kicked to the side because of this one piece of trash with this fake account. So Griff suggested that the guy require all his bidders to have a PayPal registered and verified account. Because face it guys, most of these lumps of pudding who make these fake accounts are banned from PayPal. So I think that's a tip that all you auction listers should employ. If you don't know how to do it, I'll show you how to do it in a future video. It's just go into your My eBay, then preferences, and then buyer requirements. It's real easy. If you don't know how, I'll do screenshots maybe during the week or next week. So I think that's a very helpful tip. Combined shipping. I've had a few people write to me and moan about the fact that they bought an item from their seller and the seller refuses to combine shipping. Guys, eBay in many cases does not want sellers to combine shipping. And let me explain why this is. Let's say you buy an item from a seller on Monday. Let's say it's $50. Now let's say the same seller has an item listed that's ending on Wednesday and you want it, all right? Now, let's say you write to him and say, I'm going to bid on your item Wednesday. Would you please send both my items in the one box to save me shipping? Now, if this seller is a top-rated seller like myself and has one-day shipping, he would be in violation of his own shipping rules right then and there. You would be putting this seller in violation, and he cannot do that because he would get hurt, he would get dinged with a defect for not on-time shipping. Instead of shipping out your first item one day later, which is Tuesday, he probably wouldn't ship it out till Thursday when he shipped the 2 items you won, the one on Monday and the one on Wednesday. So he cannot do that in most cases. Somebody wrote to me and they showed me a case where they were moaning that this seller would not combine shipping. And I looked at it and I explained this to the particular party, that I said, if he is employing one-day shipping like I am, he can't do it. eBay does not want him to do it, so please don't break his chops. Now, if a seller, there are still some sellers out there that are having 4, 5, 6, 7-day handling time. Guys, I don't see any reason on God's green earth to hold a person's item 7 freaking days. It's just, in my opinion, it's wrong. All right, please ship the item as quickly as you can, or at least within your stated handling time. Stated handling time is very important to eBay buyers, and I think it should be. My stated handling time is 1 day. Everything goes out the next day. Nobody waits. All right? Now, true case stories. This is a new little feature I'm going to be putting out when I can, and it's going to be all about you. Each week people write to me and tell me really weird things that happen to them on eBay. Sometimes the situations rectify themselves, sometimes they don't. What I'm looking for are the most interesting stories you have that are going on right now on eBay where you've had a problem and you think you would like to share the story with the audience. Please keep in mind, if you do want to share it with me, I'm willing to keep your name private. However, I do want to see the details of the case. I don't want anybody making up stories and hypothetical situations. I want to see it in print. Okay? Now this one particular person who I know actually showed me everything in print, and this is where eBay Radio is going to tie in, as I said it would earlier in the video. So here's what happened. It has to do with the global shipping program. This gentleman named Craig sent an item through the global shipping program. It was a Samsung Note 5 for the price of $900. He sent it to the Global Shipping Center in Kentucky. All right? 7 days later, he gets an email from the eBay Global Shipping Center saying that the box arrived empty, totally empty, and that they advise him to give the customer a full refund. So what he did was, he did 2 things. He contacted FedEx, which was the carrier, and he opened a case with them. That's fine in itself. He also immediately refunded the buyer $900. And in this case, I believe he should have waited, and Griff does too, because when this Craig, he contacted me on Wednesday night, okay? And he told me his story. And I said, I've got a great idea. I said, I know Griff is really into the eBay shipping program. Why don't we get you on as the first guest Thursday? Now at this time he wasn't a member of the eBay Radio Facebook group, but I really quickly sent him some links, got him right in, and I showed him how to set everything up so he'd be ready for like 2:15 p.m. on Thursday. So sure enough, 2:15 he calls in, he got right on, and he explained his case. And Griff said right to him, hey, I think you jumped the gun by giving him the $900 refund. Send me the information, send me all the particulars, and I will look at this for you and I will get back to you on it. And I know Griff is a man of his word, and he will get back to Craig and let him know what's going on. The problem is twofold. Number one, why did it take 7 days for them at the shipping center to contact him and say the box was empty? Number two, Why was the box empty? Okay? It's a bit of a sticky situation, but this is the kind of thing you've got to be careful on, guys. Now, if this happens to you, you need to call customer service first. Craig got an email from them saying that he should refund them. All right? And he really should have called them first, but now the ball's in motion, so I think hopefully this situation will be rectified. But I thought it was a very exciting and interesting case, and I thought that I'd share it with you guys. So, in the future, if any of you guys want to share your case with me to be broadcast here on the Crazy New York Driver Show, email me the particulars. Look on the sign below, right on top there, crazynydriver@aol.com. Tell me your particulars, who you are on eBay, what happened. I'm going to need screenshots of the correspondence between you and eBay or you and the customer. I'll be glad to keep your information confidential and just use your first name as I am with my buddy Craig. And hopefully next week I will be able to tell you his problem is resolved and he got his $900 back. Nobody wants to lose $900. I'd be crying like a newborn if it was me, so I don't blame him. Anyway, guys, I kept you guys way too long. Let's just go over a few points and I'll let you go for this evening. Number one, please sign up to the webinars. The dates, again, Monday, October 5th. That one is for the Holiday Seller webinar. And then the next one will be the week after, October 13th, or if you can't make it, October the 20th. And that's going to discuss the new eBay Seller Hub, which I have opted into for an early release. I'll be one of the first eBay sellers to have it. And I'll be more than happy to share with you the pros and the cons and all that. But I don't have it yet. My mobile sales are 25%. If you want to share yours, that's great. If not, don't. If you want to share your case for next week or any future week's true case stories and you think you have a real interesting case, bring it up. All right? Remember, I'm here to help you guys and give you advice and discuss your problems. And if I can't help you, maybe I know somebody who can. All right? I am happy to say that for the past 8 years, we have done a lot. We've come a long way, guys. A long way. I never thought in my wildest dreams that the channel would be this popular. Never. It just never crossed my mind. And I have to thank every one of you. You too. Him? Maybe. Anyway, let's see. Did I get everybody? Is everything done here? Yes. Yes, that's about it. All right, guys. I'm Crazy New York Driver. You're not. Thanks for watching. Please, if you get a chance, Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, listen to the radio. If the northern New Jersey, New York City area has been hit hard by Hurricane Joaquin, you may not see me next week, or I may come out a few days later. We'll see how it goes. Here's hoping we can weather the storm. Guys, rock on, make some eBay sales. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be here next Friday night. See ya!